My mental health mind. Hi, how are you guys today? This will be my mental health story. I just wanted to give you some background of myself so you might understand my purposes. My story starts as a child in the 1970s. My story starts as a child. I was born into a blended family. I have two brothers and two sisters from my mother's first marriage. And I have a brother from my dad's first marriage. And then there's me. Don't forget, there are other stressors involving emotional, psychological, and environmental stressors. My mother suffers from depression and had a nervous breakdown when her ex father in law passed away in the 1960s. My dad was an alcoholic. All of my brothers and sisters had a combination of being an alcoholic, being a drug user, having depression, and having mania. There was a 9-year age gap between my youngest sibling and myself. So after the age of 9, I was raised as an only child with all of my siblings living outside of the house. But I did have a good relationship with all of them. My issues were at home. I did not have any problems with school or playmates or anything like that. My moods were just crazy. I was mouthy to my mother. I did stuff that I should not do, like stealing her car, which I got busted for, and I often cried alone. I felt so crazy. At 12 years old, I realized something was wrong. My mood swings were getting so bad, and I was getting in trouble. My mom thought I was trying to get the attention of my dad who worked out of town, but really, I was not doing that at all. I thought that I was crazy. We didn't talk about mental health in my household. I didn't talk to my family. The stigma and misconceptions clouded my head. I thought it was just me and my explosive temper, or a flaw in my personality. My feelings were crazy. One minute I would be happy, the next I'd be into madness, the next sadness, and hopefully I would get to joyfulness. But it all happened within hours of each other. I had massive mood swings with depression and manic symptoms. I would cry when depressed and outrageous with the mania. All this within a few hours in a day. So I would have all of these symptoms multiple times a day. It was not until I was an adult with a child that I started going to therapy. I started having devastating thoughts about killing myself and hurting my baby. It was not the thought of hurting myself, it was the thought of hurting my baby that made me want to do something. Can you guess what I was diagnosed with? Can you bipolar? This disorder involves a pattern of depressive episodes and hypomanic episodes. Don't forget, there are two types of bipolar 1 and bipolar 2. For me, it was bipolar 2. In the 80s, it was hard to diagnose a child with bipolar disorder. Everyone just thought I needed more discipline. As a teenager, I was arrested twice and on and off punishment. I was grounded twice for 6 months and my mom went by the calendar. There was never a chance of getting off early. Medication is different for everyone. It took me a good year to come up with medication that helped. And when I felt better, I would stop the medicine. And of course, my symptoms would start again. I went through this for years. Sometimes it takes a while. It took me a while to be able to stay on medication. In between the time of starting therapy and today, I have also spent 7 days on the psych ward 3 different times. Medication was changed, 7 days of constant therapy, and not being able to get off the unit for those 7 days. In the meantime, I educated myself on bipolar disorder. What is bipolar? How did I get it? How does other people get it? Does anyone else in my family have this? And then I went to college and became a licensed social worker just to help others understand, get mental health access, and help in emergencies. I worked as a licensed social worker for 10 years. Then I had some issues. The death of my mother, which took me a long time to get through, and severe medical issues. I got through everything, had times when I cried and lots of time to laugh, but I have done well. Now I'm in my 50s and doing great, still on medication and going through therapy, but it is all good. I still have my main resources. I know where to go for an emergency, and I have a strong support system full of friends, family, and mental health staff. Now I am happy and enjoying life, especially with them grandkids. I hope you enjoyed my story, and I would love to know what your story would be. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe.